Hi, this is Greg with Lionquestfitness. Today we're going to be comparing the Rossi RP63 with the Ruger SP101. Now before we start our comparison, let's talk about the drill I was doing. Obviously close quarters, 12 feet, hip point, movement, drawing, movement. All right. Now, you have to disregard that one because that was me. That was not the Ruger. All right, now we go up, go back to 15 feet. We'll try for a headshot. But as you can see, I was drifting a little bit to the left with the Rossi. And that's something I need to figure out, whether it's that wide trigger, whether it's something to do with my grip, or just the way I'm aiming the gun. But that's me, not the gun. Now, my last video on the Rossi RP63, I made the comment that this gun compares favorably to a Ruger SP101 in 3-inch. Well, obviously this is 2 1/4 instead of 3-inch, but I thought it would be fun to compare these guns and take a look at both of them. Now, in a recent video I did, I called the SP101 the king of snubs, but it's not an effete monarch leisurely sitting on a throne looking down on his subjects. This is more of a Conan the Barbarian kind of king of snub-nosed revolvers. You know, strong, determined, rugged, maybe not the best, maybe not the best made, but definitely in the running and very dependable. So let's go ahead and compare these head to head. Now, as far as shooting close quarters, I think both came out of concealment very easily. Now, I do tend to prefer a snub-nosed revolver for hip point shooting because you're pointing, you're not aiming, you're pointing your finger at the target. And for me, it seems to be easier with a 2-inch, 2 1/4-inch barrel than it does with a gun with a 3-inch barrel. All right, let's look at the fit and finish of both guns. Now, the Rossi has what's called a satin stainless finish, which I prefer to the matte stainless that Taurus and Smith & Wesson use on some of their revolvers. Of course, the Ruger is polished, highly polished, and I'll give the Ruger the win as far as the finish goes. Now, as far as the fit, they both compare very well, except one thing, and that is the Ruger has some very sharp edges around the trigger guard, and the hammer. Now, I made this comment in my Ruger video, and I had some people upset about that. I had one fellow who was like, I just don't know where that comment comes from about the sharp edges. And I just don't know why you're saying that. Well, because it's true. And because other people have noticed same, to the point that they've taken, I know at least 2 people who've taken a Dremel to lessen the sharpness of the edges. And I also know, as far as my GP100, everything is smooth. So what I'm thinking is that some come from the factory that probably needed more finishing as far as the trigger guard, the hammer, and the trigger. And I just happened to get one that needed that. And it's not enough for me to worry about it, but I imagine if I was shooting 100, 200 rounds, I would probably notice it more. So, the Rossi RP63, the Ruger SP101, which one? We'll come back next week. We're going to do some more shooting at distance this time. We're going to go to a mid-range of 10, 15 yards. And we're going to discuss more some of the differences and strengths and weaknesses of both revolvers. And this is Greg from Lionquest Fitness.